What's going on YouTube? So, after I recorded my thoughts and review, did general review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I realized I wanted to talk more about the movie, but you know, let's just call this the spoilers review, complete and total spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie, and I know it's like been a week out, but you don't want to see spoilers, guess what? Don't see this video. Come back when you're finishing the video. So come back and watch this shit. Anyway, so as I might have said, like in the last video, that I was kind of like trying to figure out how to say it without really saying it. So in this video, I'm just gonna go out and straight up and say it. Um, Kurt Russell's character plays the Star Lord's father, and basically it's like why I said it felt like a even from the get go, why it felt like a Futurama episode is because of all the crazy adventures that they're going on, and all the stuff that they're that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah, it just felt kind of like a cute, nice father son moment, and it's just like cool. He finally reconnected with his father, and then only to realize that he's been using him, kind of like because he just wanted to take over the galaxy, typical bad guy stuff or whatever. But I think the way it was presented in the movie was actually pretty clever. I mean, like usually the villains just come out and straight out and say like, "I want to take over the galaxy." It's like, whoa, oh shit. It was kind of like it was disguised as like a father son moment and all this shit. And it's funny how like the rest of the team, especially Gamora, realized it as soon as it's possible, but he was still. I mean, to be fair, Peter Quill was kind of like awestruck that his father actually came to see him. But when you actually think about it, it just seemed kind of suspicious. Like, why are you tracking me down all these years? Like, oh, whatever. But then, like a day later, I just got to think about it. It's kind of like revealed. I don't know if unintentional or anything, but it's kind of revealed at the end of the first movie. Yondu says like, "Man, he was just always a bastard," and then make me think, "Oh shit, was the James Gunn kind of like subtly hinting at what kind of character he is in the like how he really is?" And then after the movie finished, the first thing I text my dad, man, like what a bastard his character is. I mean, like shit, he is like I mean, at first it seemed like, oh, he's like his only child, oh that's sweet, whatever. But it's later in the movie he's like, well, I haven't been totally honest with you, I have children all across the galaxy. Well, that's not very sweet, and that sucks. It's like only to be like, oh yeah, good news, you're a bastard, and not only are you a bastard, but you have other children too that I conveniently didn't tell you about. So yeah, it was just like, man, that was a buzzkill. Anyway, so near at the end of the movie, Yondu sacrifices himself for the team, and it's funny though because like I felt like I was the only person that cried in that scene because I asked another coworker who saw it, and she's like, no, she didn't cry. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't cry either. but I just thought that was pretty cool, like that interesting parallel because I think a little bit before that, either before that or after that, Peter Quill had kind of like connected the pieces that even though Yandu like kind of abducted him from where he lives or whatever, in a way Yandu's kind of like raised him to be his son in some kind of way. So in kind of a weird way, Yandu is like Peter Quill's father, not biologically but adoptive, so after that scene, after the final battle scene in the movie, he was listening to a song by Cat Stevens called Father and Son, and it felt kind of reminiscent to the first movie because like in certain scenes when he was like just sad and down and depressed, like he was listening to a tape from his mother, and it felt kind of like a callback to that. But like when Goop when Groot was sitting on his lap, it just felt kind of like that nice connection between the father and son, and it's kind of like in some ways passing the torch, like from Yandu to Peter to hopefully Groot. Probably in the third movie, it's gonna see more a little bit more of that kind of like father son connection between Groot and Star Lord, and probably like kind of like Star Lord and Rocket Raccoon are gonna be fighting along. So I'm happy I mentioned a Rocket Raccoon because there was a lot of times in this movie where like people would just, I don't know if unintentionally, but I think especially with between Drax and Rocket Raccoon, they would like call him like Trash Panda. They'd call him like a triangle face monkey. They'd call him like all these other names, and it's funny because he'd always get pissed off like, I'm not a raccoon, and it's like, and then like, yeah, and then Peter Quill would be like, yeah, sure, whatever you are. You are what you are, whatever. Just it's like all these names, just kind of like, man. And I think there was a point in the movie where Rocket Raccoon was like, oh, whatever, because like, oh no, there was a point in it's like, where Mantis was like, can I pet your puppy in the most sweet and innocent way, and then it's like she proceeds to pet him, and then she just bites her hand, and then Drax starts like, and it's like, that's what I'd call it's a practical joke. It's like, oh yeah, like it's funny because she's so like kind of awkward. It's like, oh, that's a practical joke. I mean, I think she's even more awkward than Drax because Drax. I mean, I think from in the sequel, he's a little bit can understand jokes a little bit more. So in some ways, I think Mantis is like Drax's replace. I mean, Drax is not going anywhere, but in some ways, she's kind of like Drax 2.0, where she's just extremely clueless about her surroundings. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like in some ways she kind of reminds me of Sheldon. Both characters are just kind of like joke just drove over the head like what else in the movie? I mean it's funny because I seen the movies on Wednesday and now it's Saturday, so there's some details that I might have forgotten about or whatever. It's funny because I really wanted to shoot a back-to-back video like on Thursday, but things like I I guess I just totally forgot about it or whatever. But yeah. So also one thing I want to bring up though is one cameo that totally caught me off guard was Sylvester Stallone cameoed in this movie. He cameoed like 3 or 4 scenes in this movie, but I just thought it was just the weirdest shit ever. What the hell's Sylvester Stallone doing here? I thought that was pretty cool though. Like, I mean, it was kind of like, yeah, I said in another video like that like what if like Guardians 3 is gonna feature like Bruce Willis and Jet Li, and it's gonna be a mini Expendables reunion. I kind of don't want that. Like like I definitely don't want to see Bruce Willis in a Marvel movie because I mean he seems kind of like, oh yeah, I'm Bruce Willis, bow down to me. I mean, it's like his Die Hard movies are pretty cool, but like the actor himself seems kind of like just probably wouldn't enjoy it. He seems too uptight versus Sylvester Stallone. I mean, he made some science fiction movies in the past, so probably I could see no, not Harrison Ford. He probably, I'm pretty sure he's probably done with the whole science fiction shit. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it just doesn't like Star Wars. I don't know. But it's pretty funny how like when he was getting interviewed for The Force Awakens and he just super blunt about his reaction. He's like, "Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Or whatever." Like just he kind of reminded me of April Ludgate from Parks and Recreation. Just like, "Oh, really? Wow, thank you for telling me." You Anyway, so I don't know. It's like there might be a little bit more stuff to talk about in Guardians Volume 2, but maybe I just forgot about or whatever. But anyway, so yesterday, season two, yeah, season two of that show, fucking Master of None came out on Netflix, and I was gonna watch it, but I ended up going to the gym and I passed out. I might watch it tonight, either that or um, Iron Fist. Yes, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for with spoilers, review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't know if it's much of spoilers because I spent most of the time talking about one thing or whatever. Yeah, I'm not your typical reviewer. I just end up talking about one part, the better part of the video, or I could just extend this video to 30 minutes. Probably not. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the movie. If you've seen it yet, if you haven't, go check it out. It's a really fun movie, and despite what people say that it's not like poop jokes or pee jokes every 3 seconds, it's actually pretty entertaining. And yeah, I actually got this question asked like it's not like really like copy paste, like whatever happened in the first movie is like literally say exactly. It's actually like, they go on a different adventure, and it was like it doesn't feel like the first movie at all. In fact, Glenn Close's character, or Corbett Day, or whatever his name is, but played by John C. Riley, they don't appear in it at all, which is really nice. I mean, yeah, it feels really cool. So, oh, and one thing I also want to add before I go, there's four post-credit scenes, or maybe five. I kind of lost count, but the fact that there's so many, it seems kind of amazing, and kind of a treat for the viewers, instead of just sitting and waiting for like 10 minutes and just get another scene. You just get five scenes, and that's pretty cool. So props to you, James Gunn. That's amazing. I wonder what you're gonna do for Guardians Volume 3. Like, just make the whole post credit scenes into like, a mini movie or something, like just kind of like a 5 minute episode or whatever. Not have nothing to do with the movie. Just show like just some random shit. Anyway, that's yeah. Like I said, that's pretty much it with the video. Hope you liked it, and leave a comment down under there if you want to leave a comment. I guess I'm not really good with these closers. I guess so. I'm out like the flash, and see you with another video, my friends.